oh, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Oh, I didn't even know that's what you're talking about. You said that.
Listen, there's some dumbass people that are going to be running around saying shit like that. YOLO, you only live once. And they're going to be justifying dumbass, stupid ass, retarded ass shit. Yes, I don't care if we get demonetized for this. You got to be monetized first.
Exactly. It's like, it doesn't matter.
So we have this, actually, hang on, angle 5, right?
Yeah, you can see it. Literally.
In the background over there, there's a tower for a concert. Okay, this is a 2 week, 3 days per weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 2 weekends. So 6 days total worth of concerts that people pay. If you go for the total, it's like $600 to $1,000 or more without transportation, without food, without alcohol, without whatever, without VIPs. For wasting your fucking time. Do you understand? But Austin, I know you have a lot to say on this topic. And whatever you say with, I agree 1,000%.
Okay. So everyone is a follower. Whether you're going on social media, you're following certain people. Of course, you might know certain people that you want to follow, and they're your actual friends in real life. That's cool. But you know, there's also a lot of people that you may not know that people follow, they fan over, they idolize, they buy tickets to go and see that person in concert, fan out, record it so everyone can see that they're there and that they're next to this person at the concert that you can be at. Just a whole bunch of following ass shit, right? And you do potentially only live once in this lifetime, right? But that doesn't mean that you throw away your life in the latter years for a couple years of what you think is greatness or what you think is fun. And it infuriates me that people think so short-sightedly. Life, hopefully for you, is going to be a lot longer than just your 20s. Do you realize that that's 10 years of a potential 80 years of life? So you're telling me that you're going to, first off, keep in mind, the first fucking 20 years, you didn't necessarily have, unless you were just in a situation where you could, but you didn't have that much control over what you could and couldn't do. So that's out the window. 20 years, already done. You didn't have choices to do the things that you necessarily wanted to do all the time. So that's out the window. 10 years, you want to overcompensate and do whatever the fuck that you want to do for those 10 years. Cool. But then after that, you potentially have 50 more years to live. And your choices made in those 10 years dramatically affect how the rest of those 50 years go. Now, of course, you can be 30 plus, you can be 40 plus and still change your life. But once you get past a certain age, your willingness to do so goes down dramatically as well. Because the older you get, the more stuck in your ways that you get and the more that you feel like life has passed you by, which makes you not want to do anything or feel like you can't do anything about it. So again, in those 10 years, 20 to 30, why not work as hard as you can so that when you're 30 plus, you can do whatever the fuck that you want to do. And when I say whatever the fuck that you want to do, it's more than just going to a concert. You could be backstage at the concert. The concert could be yours. And the people that you wanted to meet, the people that you wanted to touch and dap up would naturally do that because they have to do it because it's your concert. But people just think so short term. They think so small. And they just want to have fun right now at a concert. That's cool. To each their own, I guess. But I will say, if you don't end up where you say that you want to end up, it's your fault. It's not my fault. It's not Jose's fault. It's no one else's fault but yours, because you chose to do what everyone else was doing, which was nothing.
At all.
Nothing at all. So sacrificing 10 years of your life, to me, in the grand scheme of things, is nothing to get what you really want to get. For most people, is wealth and freedom. Right now, as free as you may feel at that concert, jumping around, doing whatever you want to do, on whatever type of drug you may be on, drinking, all that type of stuff, you might feel free. But when you wake up that next morning, hungover, out of shape, and just feeling terrible, you know what probably 99% of you have to do afterwards? Wake up and go the fuck to work. How free are you? And I'm not saying that I'm just a fucking billionaire right now. No. However, I will say that I'm working towards getting to that point to where when I wake up, I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. And we're closer than a lot more people. So, for you out there attending these concerts, if all your end goal in life is to attend concerts, congratulations, you did it. Proud of you. But if you want more in your life than being able to attend concerts, get drunk, get high, then wake up the next morning, have to fucking go to work at a job that you know that you hate, you know what you could have been doing instead of going to that concert to make sure that you never had to do that shit again? Putting in some time, putting in the work, putting in the effort to build a better you. And while you're at a concert, jumping around with a whole bunch of people that you don't fucking know and paid $1,000 to see a person that really doesn't give a fuck about you. They just want the fucking money, and they're making fucking 300 times more than what you're making in a year, probably at that fucking show. You're there, jumping around, yay, doing that, while you could be working. Like, come on now.
My biggest thing is, what are you trying to accomplish by being in these said concerts, in these said scenes? My shit's about to overheat. Oh, fuck. But there's nothing that you really get out of it. I understand that a lot of people are trying to escape the painful reality that they live in, and that makes a lot of sense. But life is pain and suffering. And if you're the person who will continuously run away and run away and run away from all of the things and all the responsibilities that will get you into a better situation, into a better circumstance where you don't have to escape from other things, and you're just wasting time. You should be diverting your efforts into the positives that are going to help you better yourself and your circumstances, because otherwise you're going to fall into a trap of escapism. You're going to run away from all the things that are difficult. You're going to run to the drugs. You're going to run to the high fat foods. You're going to run to the fat bitch with the pussy, even though you should be looking for your wife. You're going to run to your side pieces rather than the chick that you actually want to commit with, because you're afraid of commitment and you don't want to have kids and you don't think it's going to work out in XYZ. You run away from your promotions. You run away from your job responsibilities. You say, I don't want to become an entrepreneur. So then you go up in the corporate world, but your dream was to become an entrepreneur. However, you chase the check and you're trying to validate your decisions with your circumstances. Oh, I'm free. My tits are out and I'm doing drugs and whatever the fuck. But guess what? Tomorrow you're going to wake up and put on your corporate clothes to sit in front of a computer and work your corporate job. Somebody else is signing your paycheck. And also you feel ashamed of what you did the day before. So, and you're broke now. You're tired. You got a sunburn. Your ankles hurt. For what? Like, none of these things are actually worth it. Would you rather have 10, 20, 30 hours of euphoria? Or would you rather have 10, 20, 30 years of success and respect? And like Austin said, have the capacity to wake up whenever, wherever, and do whatever. Now, that might not even be your goal, We're not saying it'll even get there, but would you rather not fail in the process and say, I tried, or eventually one day say, I did, or say, oh, I could have, or I did not? Either you want to be a bitch, or you want to be a fucking man, grab your nuts, and grow up. Or a woman, grab your shit, get to work.
And when most people think about life, they think about just pure joy and happiness, right? That's all. That's what you're supposed to chase in life more than anything. But I think Luke Ballmer, I believe, was like, who said that, you know, that's what life is? Who said that we're supposed to be happy all the time? You're supposed to experience every single emotion that there is. Because to me, there's joy in being able to experience emotion in the first place. Because I was at a place where I couldn't experience any of that anyway. So being able to go through the full range of emotions, sadness, happiness, joy, depression, that's what life is. It's not just trying to chase that high of happiness. Life and happiness wouldn't be as great if you only experience happiness all the time. The good times wouldn't be as good if you didn't go through some shit times to realize how good those good times are and what's really good and what's really enjoyable in life. And people like to quote the Bible, but they'll purposely leave out certain things. Or they'll not speak to certain things. And those things they leave out are the things they normally don't want to do. So in Galatians 5:22, it says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, kindness, goodness, and faithfulness. But oh, wait a second. It's not that. I left out one thing. You know what I left out, Jose?
What did you leave out, Austin?
Long suffering.
Kind of an important factor.
Long suffering. Do you understand, people, what that fucking means? People think it's all about just joy and happiness and goodness and kindness and all these nice words. But then you see a word like long suffering and they're like, wow, that sounds pretty bad. You know what? I don't know about that one. I'll do everything else. I like everything else. I'll apply everything else. I'm looking forward to everything else. But long suffering, you know what? I'll pass. No. That's just as, if not the most important word in that whole entire sentence, in my opinion. Long suffering. People don't want to suffer. They don't want to go through difficult times in their life because they're difficult. They rather be at a concert, jumping around for joy, all that type of shit, right? But when you go through things, when you're willing to test your patience in life, that's just as good to God as you experiencing love, as you showing joy, as you giving people peace, as you being kind, as you being good, as you being faithful to you and to Him. You experiencing long suffering, you experiencing tough times and being patient, not being fast to anger is just as good to Him. So what does that mean for you? If you're avoiding that at all times, maybe there's something wrong with that. Maybe you should work hard. Maybe you should experience some times of difficulty and strife and pain. It's a fucking dodge. Yeah. But maybe you should go through those things. Why? What's important? What's the reason for experiencing long suffering? Because it builds you into a tougher, better, overall human fucking being. And when you're living a nice little lush life and you're shying away from suffering, you're shying away from pain, you're not going to amount to shit. I'm sorry. You're not. Because the people who end up succeeding, the people who end up winning, the people who end up getting to the places that you won't be able to get to are the people who suffered. Most of the people suffered along the way to get there. That camera's out, that camera's out, but this camera's not out. So I have to talk to you and realize that, hey, go through those tough times. It builds character. It builds a better you. It builds a more callous individual that's harder to break. So then when things and obstacles come in your way in life, you're not going to break. You're not going to fold. You're not going to bend. You're going to push through. So if you want to be anything, you want to do anything, put your head down, get to work, take the punches, take the blows. You can do it. If I can do it, if Jose can do it, you can do it. We're not any fucking more special than you. But we're willing to put up with that pain. We're willing to put up with that long suffering because we know that at the end of the day, it builds us into who not only we want to be, but shit, even who you might want to be. And if that's the case, if you want to be in the same place that we want to be, which is at the top of the fucking mountain, the elements are going to be tough. Your breathing's going to get hard. You might not know how life is going to go for you. What the fuck is happening these days? But you might not know how life is going to go for you. But at the end of the day, if you're willing to suffer through it, you're going to get a lot further in life than those who aren't willing to do so. And those who aren't willing to do so are more often than not going to be at that concert today celebrating something. I don't even know what. But those who will make it are those who are going to be doing things like this, getting to it, having meetings, doing business, getting sales, all right now. So what do you want to do? You want to succeed or you want to have fun? You want to experience nothing but happiness or you want to suffer a little bit because you know at the end of that suffering could be eternal joy.
To me, succeeding is fun. But to put this in perspective, this started on Friday, and today is Sunday. On Friday, we made more money in one day, in 3 transactions, than it would cost you to attend said concert. And by Saturday, we made more money than it would cost you to attend both weekends of said concert. Spend that money or make that money. That's your fucking choice. But I want to add to what you were saying. Pressure builds diamonds. So clearly it's going to be more difficult, as you're saying. It's worthwhile. But I want to say something too. Interestingly enough, the way the seasons are aligned, there is a fall, a literal fall in the metaphorical and the realistic sense. Then there is a winter. And the winter is cold, it's isolated, it's uncomfortable, it's long, it's dark. It's a difficult season. And then there's the most beautiful season of all, the spring, when all the flowers blossom, the grass is green, the weather's nice, the clouds are puffy. So life, and summer is like an incubation period. Life is literally seasonal. There is a fall where you fall into something deep, dark, and cold, which is the winter. And when you overcome or outweigh or out-survive the winter, you've persisted long enough to the point where you get to be in the spring. You will bloom. Your life will be beautiful. It will be vibrant. It will be full of color. But you have to understand life happens in cycles. You'll have moments of pain and suffering, but you'll also have moments of beauty. Everything in life is fleeting. Money is fleeting. Women and men, relationships, food, hunger, lust, everything's fleeting, including life itself. You will not be around forever. So are desires, so are goals, so are ambitions. But you got to understand that if you don't see them through, you won't be able to appreciate the fact that they're fleeting. They say we don't miss the things that we have until we lose them. And that couldn't be more true. So focus on the shit that you need to do today. Don't go to fucking concerts, raves, and EDM bullshit, and don't waste your fucking time. Make money, don't spend money. Because as they say, it's big motion or no motion. The fucking AM Club podcast signing the fuck out.
There you go.
Mic check. The AM Club podcast.